Hello, testing 1 2. Hello, testing 1 2. So there we go. We're trying to make sure this works. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to TTRL Channel 4. It is Tier 4 Division. We are ready for the season opener that is in TTRL F126, and we are here for the opening round of the Dutch Grand Prix around the Netherlands. For those of you who are unfamiliar with this voice, hello. My name is RTS Michaels. You can call me Michael for short. I am your commentator for this season. First of all, I want to give a thank you to the opportunity from TTRL Tiger and everybody that has helped me get set up for this season. Also to Orphan, who piqued my interest with this group. And this is a very good group indeed. Um, if you're watching this for the first time and unfamiliar with TTRL, all you need to do is just type in TTRL on any social media. You will find them because they have plenty of history. It's been going on for just over 4 years, and the effort that goes into it is absolutely ridiculous. And they have 5 tiers running at the moment. As I've said, we're in tier 4, and tiers are determined on pace with trials and everything else. And you get put into a group after that. So, in terms of the season, 1 second. Sorry, just got a message. Just need to respond. I might have been. Sorry about this. I've been spammed by drivers. Just give me a second. There we go. My Discord is running far too slow for this. Fantastic. Right, let's bring this up. Yeah, so hope you're having a wonderful afternoon, evening, wherever you're watching this. And yeah, let's get this underway. We're around the Dutch Grand Prix, short qualifying and a 50% race ahead of us. And like many of the viewers here, many of the drivers that start in this season, this is unfamiliar territory. I'm basically here as a spectator, as many of your viewers are. I have no idea how the season's going to go. Many of these drivers I've not seen before. There's a couple of names that I'm familiar. I've been around the F1 online community, Xbox-ish, whatever you want to call it, for a fair few years now. I've been racing since F1 2012. So there's a few names here that I'm familiar, like IRL Schumacher and Miles 40W, I believe I've seen before, and Killer Titan. But a lot of these drivers I've not seen before at all. So we'll see how they're going. So before we get underway, it's short qualifying, 18 minutes long. Is it short qualifying? It's a Q1. Anyway, we'll see. So, the calendar for the season, as you can tell, we're here at the Dutch Grand Prix as everybody's trying to get out very, very early on. Can I have a car, please? Hello? Ah, there we go. Perfect. We have a car on track, and that's the Miles in the Mercedes. I'm just going to get the track map up as well. So you have everything. Everybody's on the soft tyres, as you'd expect, as we go around the Dutch Grand Prix. So, opening round of the Dutch Grand Prix. Of course, Max Verstappen territory is a very tricky, finicky sort of track. And with F126 cars, battery usage, as we all know in these cars, we will go by track, and you'll be familiar with the whether battery usage is going to be a problem, because obviously those are straights and overtaking zones, as you'll try and figure out. But this track, not really a factor. You probably may have to still save a bit of battery as you go on your laps, especially during the race, loads of lifting and coasting and everything else that we're now familiar with these cars. I personally am not 100% likable with these type of cars, but you know, it works for some, works for others. But in terms of online racing, it is still got the essence that we love to see. As Miles takes his Mercedes, whipping his way round turn 4, the oval hairpin, a lot of camber to it. It's a very tricky circuit, this is. This is probably one of those tracks where opening round of the season, you just want to survive, really. Get some good points on the board. That's all you want to really do at this stage, just to get your eye in. This track can be quite chaotic, especially online. So it would be quite interesting race going forward, especially with new drivers trying to get used to and getting your season underway, getting a good foot in it. But Miles is on a pretty decent lap so far. There's the telemetry. There you go. That's what I was trying to find. The telemetry as he's using the rest of that battery up in the straight mode. Straight mode is basically DRS at the back and DRS at the front. As he sets a 111.3, which is immediately beaten by Nick Furyman and then Jaron in the RB. It's 11.1 already. Probably going into the 110s, I reckon, with these guys as they get their laps in. But just get your early laps in straight away. As you can see, the car's flying around here. But it's Jaron in the Racing Bull that is going to get us an early time, an 11.1. As C-Mac in the Cadillac is about to finish his lap as well. It's not going to be a competitive time for the beginning, but it's just getting an early lap on the board, 1:16.7. Ocean Crew on a 15.3. Got another Mercedes coming towards the end, and that's Schumacher. So yeah, you can see on telemetry, in qualifying at the very least, you've got overtake mode that you can use. You've also got hot lap mode, which you're meant to use in qualifying, but not a lot of people use that. It's very, what's the best word to say? It basically uses up too much battery. So what a lot of people do is go on medium and none and basically use the boost battery to give you the extra push on the straights and out of slow corners. That's what people tend to do as they go through qualifying. This track has, again, battery use is not completely 100% necessary. So you won't be seeing that a lot. The race, you might see it quite a bit as well. People saving a lot of battery. But we shall see. In terms of overtaking as well, is a very tricky track to overtake. But because of how tricky and finicky it is and all the camber and everything you'll see, it's mistakes can happen. Can happen very regularly. In fact, let's ride on board with Gerard in the Red Bull as he begins this lap using the battery down the main straight. Going down into turn 1, braking just before the 100-meter marker board. Down into turn 1, long right-hander, clipping the apex. Don't run too far on the curb. Turn 2 and turn 3 is relatively flat, but he's using a bit of lift and coast going into the cambered turn 4. Then up and over the hill. Roller coaster type corners, left, right and left, and then up and over the hill. Battery does tend to sort of wear out a little bit as you go through. And then into the middle sector was 1:11.1 from Prenz. It's very close times at the top. Prenz in the Alpine goes top by 0.08 of a Jaron. Killer Titan moves into third and Unsafe into fourth. But it's currently 0.3 covering the top 6. Fantastic competitive stuff as Gerard now moves into the final sector, this very bumpy chicane. Again, more camber. You can see on the turn, it sort of folds away from you and then into the final 2 corners. Flipped the car in. A little bit of understeer he got out of it into this corner, which is a key corner because you've got the front straight again. He saved a bit of battery to push into the line, and it's a 1:11.4 from Gerard to go just ahead of his teammate Meads into P7. So a very nice example of the Dutch track as Dave in the Audi. I must say, actually, Dave gave me a very nice welcome in the Tier 4 group. Wish me luck for the season, and I wish good luck to them as well. As Milanist goes in 11-0. We are so close to 1 minute 10s, but it's still half a second covering the top 9 at the moment, which is fantastic to see. As Dave in the Audi works his way through the end of the first sector, 24.6 is pretty decent. And obviously the Audi car, new to this season of F126, of course, used to be the Salvos. There's a Cadillac off in the background. We're still waiting for laps from Dave and Harrison. We also got Hog Devil Dog, who's already retired from the session. Don't know whether that was manual retirement or not. But Dave coming around the final 2 corners. Again, you want to get the great exit out of the first part. Stay as close as you dare to the grass on the right-hand side. And Dave is coming up to the line. It's 1:11, and it's a 1:11.2 to go P6. 6th, but 2 tenths off pole. That's how close it is. Really close times at the moment. So that leaves just Harrison in the Haas, in the Toyota Gazoo, I think it is. Toyota Gazoo Racing Haas, to complete a lap. I believe I saw it was short qualifying. We'll soon find out. So bear with me on this as we begin this season. We've got 9 minutes 33 left of the session. So Harrison's got plenty of time to complete their lap. Are we going to be seeing the 10s here? It's Milanist, EME in the Ferrari of a 1:11.0. But you got Prenz, Meads, Jaron, Killer Titan, Dave, Unsated, Fury Man, all there. It's a fantastic start to the season, which is just exactly what we want to see, a competitive tier. As Harrison, this is a very good lap from Harrison. 11.3 goes to P8, just behind their teammate Unsainted. So with everybody setting a lap, it is Milanist on an 11.0. And Milanist is, I think, is coming into the pits. So just got enough time to go back out there again. Following ARB is actually going to finish the lap. Milanist actually goes quick. It's a 1:10.7. He was on a lap and has gone 4 tenths quicker than everybody else. So fantastic lap for Milanist. Sets the benchmark as Nick Fury crosses the line at 1:11.0. So the bar has been set on the Ferraris, on the Ferrari of Milanist. Can anybody get close to that? Let's see how Jaron's getting on. In the RB again. I am mostly unfamiliar with most of these drivers. A few of them have been talking pre-race, as Jaron is just under 2 tenths up. This is looking like a 10 if you can have a good end to the final sector. Turn in. Just about all right. It's got a bit of battery left to use through the banking of the final corner. Runs out a bit of it though. Is that going to affect him? Does a little bit. 11.0 goes on the front row though. So Jaron NERB goes P2. Where else can we see? Schumacher on currently last of those that set a time, but is just about matching his time at the moment. So needs to find a bit more. Mac is also coming through, as well as engaging wrist. I believe has just gone up. Someone's gone up, and I did miss that. Oh, Prenz has gone into P2 in the Alpine. That's who that's jumped up. So getting close to Milanist, but in any case joins the front row with the Ferrari driver. Schumacher starts another lap. Who's coming to the end? There's an Audi coming to the end. That's Ocean Crew, teammate to Dave. Dave's currently in 8th place on 11.2. Can Ocean Crew get anywhere near his teammate through the banking? On 11.9 to beat. It's going to improve to 11.5 to go P13. Harrison behind goes up to P3 in the Haas. So Harrison moves up to 3rd. Still half a second covering the top 8 at the moment. And obviously, if you are in the chat, please say hi. I don't bite. As Black Spartan in the Cadillac goes fourth on a 10.9. 6 minutes left of the session. Really close time so far. It's fantastic. Stevie Mack in the McLaren. Coming across. Going to get in the 11s as well. Goes up to P14 and 11.4. Engaging wrist as well. Who else is on a lap? Is Meads on a lap. Almost gets collected by the Haas in front of him. See if they're up on their time. Go through the sector 2, basically matching. Clambers through the chicane. Through the far Corticus, loads of battery left. This is going to push him way to the line. Had the most battery of anyone, I think, towards the end of the lap. And it does actually match his lap, and so stays in P8. So Red Bull 7th and 8th at the moment. Who's about? There's a Haas coming across the line. That is Unsainted, maybe? No, that's Harrison. That was a Cadillac. This is going to be the problem with the dots on the track map, because the Cadillac and the Haas are very similar. I think Spartan crossed the line as well. Yeah, there was Spartan. One of the Audis is coming through. Dave goes up at 11.0 to P5. It's fantastically close. I mean, times are going to be close anyway because of the short track, but this is really, really good. Really good stuff to see, but still it is Milanist in the Ferrari who tops the session at the moment. He's currently on a lap, I think, at the moment, or not using any battery, it seems, so maybe, perhaps not. You see the battery's not draining, so obviously it's backing out of the way. Very dramatic way to get out of the way of Dave, actually. Well, I don't think was on another lap. Who else is coming around? Gerard is on a slow one. Stevie Mack is on a fast lap by the looks of it. A 10th up on their time. As there are 3 minutes left of the session. Stevie Mack a 10th and a half. Let's ride on board a little bit. There's plenty of battery left over. See, he's going to boost it all the way. You'd think. Oh, waiting until when they come out the corner. Good tactic, actually, and goes 8th for 11.1. Goes just ahead of the Red Bulls, so great lap from Stevie Mack. 3 minutes to go. Unsainted is about to start. Friends is on an out lap. Milan is on a lap right now, matching the first sector. Can Milanist move the barrier a bit more? See who else is on a lap at the moment. Unsainted, I think, is on a slow. Gerard is, I think, on a slow lap as well. Yeah, seems to be the only one at the moment on a lap is Milanis, and 1.3 seconds down. So it's not going to improve on this tour with just over 2 minutes to go. C-Mac in the Cadillac. Going through turn 1. Nicely turned into turn 4. Really hugs that apex. In fact, backs out of it. So C-Mac backs out of the lap. Miles in the Mercedes. Just going through the middle sector. Drained a lot of battery though on this lap. Maybe we'll see. Attempt down. It's very, very close. Let's go to Prens. I know Prens is backed out of it. Anybody can topple Milanis. Nick Fury might do. It's a 10th up. 10th and a bit. Gets in the 10s. A 10.7 goes second by 0.03 of a second. So Nick goes oh so close. Now, there are a couple of drivers that are reserving, I believe. Nick Fury is not one of them. Is in the Alpine full time and goes front row with Milanis ever so close to toppling the Ferrari, but not quite. Jaron's down on their time. Gerard is... Oh no, Gerard's lost it. Lost it into the wall. I was looking away for a second. And it's gone into the wall. That is the session done for him. Bit of a surprise there. Coming out of the chicane, just lost it, I believe, on the grass. Might have to watch the replay back. See if Prens... So Prens has been actually unseated off the front row by his teammate. Going through the middle sector now. As there are 10 seconds left. Gerard, Rist and Ocean Crew are the only one left in the pits. As Prens is a 10th down, so it's not going to improve. Milanis is done. Spartan is done. Harrison goes through, basically matches their time. Nick Fury's done. Here's Dave. Dave's on the lap. Dave is a 10th and a bit up and could be challenging for the front two positions and goes across the line. 10-7 goes up to second place. Jaron is down. Meads is 3.5 tenths up. This is a really good lap for Meads. It's going to shoot up the field if they can finish this lap. Through the final two corners. Von Meads and the Red Bulls got plenty of battery left. Really going to the edge of the track. And 10.8 goes up to fourth. Was short qualifying. Right, so I was building that up for Q1, 2 and 3. So that is your qualifying. I apologise for that. We got because I thought it was full qualifying, but there we go. It is a 10th covering the top 5. It is Milanis that set the pole position lap relatively early on in the session, and nobody could topple it. It's Milanis on the front row with Dave alongside in the Audi. Nick Fury in third with Meads in 4. Prens in 5th. Killer Titan 6th with Unsated in 7th, with teammate Harrison in 8th. Spartan in 9th, and then Jaron 10th. Stevie Mac, Gerard, Miles, Rist, Ocean Crew, C-Mac, Schumacher, and Hog Devil Dog never set a time. It is half a second just over covering the top 13, which is really, really competitive. Fantastic stuff. Emerson in the chat. So close. First pole in the game for him. So very well done, Emerson. So congratulations to you. So there is your grid under very, very dark overcast conditions for this race. And there is your grid up until now. So now is a case of strategy, which we will soon see. As let me see if there's a formation lap on. I'm pretty sure there is. I will get familiar with this. I will be better going forward. So if I do make a few mistakes or I do feel a little bit rusty, I do apologize, but it's been a while since I've done this. I've done this before, but it's just familiarity is what I need to know. Formation lap is on. Fantastic. So I can go through the grid and the tyre strategies. So in terms of tyre strategies for myself personally, I would probably steer away from the soft tyres unless you are really, really aggressive on them because of how, you know, twisty and turny and finicky this track is. You really want to kind of use the mediums most of the time. Hards, you could probably get away with if you were very good on them. But yeah, softs, I would say personally stay away from them. But it's up to you. If you're very good on your tyre wear, that could work very well in your favour. Right, in terms of the drivers, I was going to go for the drivers as well for what I've got. So just going to run you very quickly through the teams. We'll get familiar with them as we go forward. But we got Hog Devil Dog and James MCN in the McLarens. Then we got Schumacher, RL Schumacher, and Miles in the Mercedes. Red Bull is Aymane, and Gerard. So obviously, if you don't see those names, obviously in reserving at this point. Ferrari is Killer Titan and Milanist. Obviously, Milanist getting the first pole of the season. Edvir and Blazer Guns in the Williams. The Racing Bulls is Engaging Wrist and Magic Poop Cannon. That is the name. Master Quiros and Woody in the Aston Martins, which aren't here today, actually. So no points for Aston Martin going to be for today. Haas is Harrison and Unsainted. Dave and Ocean Crew in the Audi. Nick Furyman and Sober Dave in the Alpine. And then Black Spartan and C-Mac in the Cadillacs. That is your grid, or your drivers, for the season. Obviously, if I missed out any names, that means I believe you are reserved for tonight. But thank you for making the grid and making this very, very competitive. In terms of the calendar, for those of you who want to get used to this season, obviously we started off here around Netherlands. Next week, to be here every week, or for the next 13 weeks anyway, on Sundays at 8 o'clock on Channel 4, for the Tier 4. We go to Abu Dhabi next, which is a 100% dry race, so there's no chance of rain there, which is a shame. Would be interesting. And then for round 3 is an interesting one, because we go to Madrid for the first time around the Spanish Grand Prix. Not Catalonia, go to Madrid. Fantastic. It'll be my first time spectating a race around there. Round 4 is also an interesting one. It's Monaco at night, which if you haven't seen it, is fantastic. And it's a great spectacle to watch. Round 5 is around the Hungaroring. Round 6, we go to the very fast and very tricky Saudi Arabia track. Round number 7 is Suzuka in Japan. Real driver circuit there. And then we go to Austria for round number 8, a real favourite of mine for watching the race. Number 9 is Vegas under the sprint race format. So lots of content there for you, for us viewers. Australia is now round number 10. Then we go to China in round number 11. Circuit of the Americas is round number 12, also a sprint format. And finally, where best to finish the season and to crown our champions, the legendary Spa-Francorchamps circuit in Belgium. As you can say, it was one of my favourites. So yeah, we end the season in Belgium, a 13-race season to decide the drivers and the teams. And hopefully we can all enjoy the ride, and hopefully we can all be the best of friends afterwards and say, yeah, well done, and so on and so forth. But how long is the friendship going to last between all of these drivers? We shall soon see. And as I said, for those drivers in Tier 4 that are watching this back, I hope I will do this season justice for you. I mentioned this before, but thank you for the opportunity from everybody and the owners of TTRL. I've been very impressed with how this racing group is being run. It's very fantastic, of course. The effort is really, really well. But we are just waiting for the start of this Grand Prix. I hope my drink is going to last for this. Be interested. A lot of medium and hard tyres, we can see, at least according to my race director. Of course, we'll go through the grid on the formation lap. And it's going to be a very hectic first lap, so try and keep up with everything I try to do. As we are ready for the first round of the season, let's get the tyres up. And no soft tyres, they've listened. They listened to me. It's great. Whether they listen to me, I don't know. Anyway, let's run down the grid. So, 18th place, Hog Devil Dog never set a lap time in qualifying, so we'll see what they can do from the back of the grid on medium tyres. Next forward on the hard tyres, IRL Schumacher in P17 in the Mercedes, C-Mac in the Cadillac is 16th, Ocean Crew in the Audi is 15th, and Engaging Wrist 69 is 14th in the RB. Then a pair of medium shod drivers of Miles in the Mercedes and Gerard in the Red Bull, 13th and 12th. 11th is Stevie Mac on the hard tyres for the McLaren. Jaron is P10, in the mediums. 9th is Spartan on the hard tyres, and the next lot all on mediums. Harrison, followed by Unsainted, 8th and 7th. 6th is Killer Titan in the Ferrari. 5th is Friends in the Alpine. 4th is Meads in the Red Bull. Nick Furyman is interested going to go on hard tyres. He's 3rd on the Alpine. And then finally, our front row is Dave in the Audi and Milanis on the Ferrari, both on the medium tyres. So it's interesting of those who went on the hard tyres. Nick Furyman will be very keen to not allow the front two to get away. As you can see with the tyre strategies, starting on hards, you're going to go for double mediums tyre strategy. If you're on the mediums, probably go for another set of mediums or 2 sets of hards, depending on how well your tyres are. I am not going to get a good camera angle of this. It's fantastic. So we will look at the start from Meads in the Red Bull as we all line up for the start of Tier 4 TTRL and the Dutch Grand Prix. Hopefully it's going to start properly. There we go. For 5, red lights. The Dutch Grand Prix is away. And it's a fantastic start from Milan, who takes the lead. As going down into turn 1, as Nick Fury tries to go around the outside as we all go through turn 1. Thankfully, it's okay. It's going in, but Nick Furyman has made a fantastic start. The front wing flying off of somewhere as they go through turn 4. Don't know who that was from. There's damage already at the start. And they all go through the sector. Gerard has made up of 3 places in the Red Bull. As it's Miles and the Mercedes. It might be the Red Bull of Gerard as Miles was looking up the inside through the second sector. It might be the Red Bull that's actually got some damage. We will see later on. Oh, there's big damage. Big damage from the Audi. Ocean Crew, I think. No, it's Dave. Dave has hit the back of somebody. A complete front wing. Almost went off the back of somebody's car. There was so much carnage there. As they all go for the middle sector, this is action wherever you want to look. I'll do my best trying to keep up with it. As Jaron has moved up into 9th place, just about easing by Miles. So Miles has made up a few places, but now it's just lost one to the RB. Meanwhile, up front, it's Milanis up at the top, but it's Nick Furyman who's made a brilliant start, continuing on the hard tyres. He needed to keep the front two away, but he's now moved into 2nd place with his teammate right behind. Pressurising. Friends is actually no team orders at this point. We want to get through because he's on the medium tyres. He's on the better tyre strategy, but look at Nick Furyman absolutely keeping the Ferrari honest here, really put under pressure. And it's Dave that is in the pits on for a long strategy and a long evening, it seems. And I'm obviously sorry to see that, but obviously got caught out by how chaotic that middle sector was. 4-5 wide as Nick Furyman is all over the back of Milanis. Milanis cannot shake this front 4 that has been grouped off, and then it's the 2 Haas drivers of Harrison who's got a lot of front wing missing. As yellow flag at the back is Gerard. Gerard will spin into the chicane. Again, I'll try and keep up with everything. It's obviously very difficult with just one of me. Now, Unsainted would want to try and get by his teammate because his teammate is a bit crippled on the front wing, and Unsainted does go through. I don't think Harrison really fought that. Maybe he'll try and hold up a few of these drivers behind, but breaking up a big train here as this is Wrist and Spartan as Jaren's just got overtaken by Miles. Miles is having a titanic battle with him. Goes wide at turn 4. And Jaren is trying to still get through. We've also got Spartan is just been passed by Wrist. This midfield is absolutely ridiculous. And if there's any battles I miss, I do apologise, but this is really competitive stuff in the beginning as there's a Cadillac right up the inside of Killer Titan. There's Spartan trying to go by. It's Titan against Spartan. Oh, a bit of tyre contact. Run aboard of Miles. And there's that boost of overtake. If you don't use it, you just get left behind. There's no overtaking down in the chicane. There's a bit of a gravel picked up from engaging wrist as Miles hits the back and got a little bit of traction. Troubles on another chicane. Was already beginning the lap number 4. Milanis has actually gapped Nick Fury a little bit as Prens dives up on the inside. Surely he can't get that stopped. He does, but Nick Fury was possibly a little bit caught out by that. Allows his teammate to go through. And can Prens now pressurize the Ferrari in front? Caught me unawares as well. And oh, this is getting very, very close. A bit of rubbing on the front, and now Prens is all over the back of the Ferrari. And now, oh no, goodness me. Me stuck up on the inside. That was a very brave overtake. Oh, and he goes straight back across. Thank goodness his car ghosted. But Mies, who was keeping up with the top 3, just tried to lunge it up on the inside of the Alpine. That was never going to work, I don't think. He was also fully alongside. Well, in my opinion, Spartan has now had a spin also. Early season troubles have already started. But it's the Ferrari and the 2 Alpines. It's Milanis ahead of Prens, ahead of Nick Fury. Nick Fury wouldn't mind this because, remember, he's on the hard tyres. He's playing the long game. Milanis using a bit of a boost to keep ahead of Prens. Is Prens going to go do a dive? No! Oh, he gets caught out by the braking. Gave the Ferrari a bit of a tap. Luckily to get rid of no damage. He's already on lap 5. Oh! Goodness me! As a 10-second penalty for Mies. Mies has just had a really troubling first couple of laps. So, let's calm down a little bit. We can't calm down because again, it's midfield. How is Harrison keeping up some kind of pace on a half a broken front wing is beyond me. But Killer Titan's made his way through. Harrison has got a massive train of cars all the way back to the Mercedes of Schumacher in 12th at the moment. Then there's a bit of a gap to Spartan, who had a bit of a spin, trying to recover now. As Jaren is trying to find a way through. It has gone right over the gravel. It's going to have to be careful coming back on. Yeah, Harrison is really causing some trouble back here. He's just trying to minimize the damage, I guess. As here comes engaging wrist, but it's not going to find a way through, I don't think. Might go for it at the end of turn 1. Goes around the outside, actually. Let's be brave. And Harrison just about gives enough room. Oh, no, there's more contact. The contact has been initiated from all these drivers as a McLaren of Stevie Mac goes around the outside of engaging wrist, around the outside of turn 4. Wrist tried to go for the move on Harrison. Couldn't make it stick. Then the McLaren of Stevie Mac just does him around the outside. But Harrison is a cork in the bottle here. And the bottle is a bottle of champagne. In other words, he's holding back a lot. Oh, you can see how frustrated these guys must feel here. As Stevie Mac trying to go back around the outside, and again it comes engaging wrist trying to go around the outside here. Look at this train all the way back. As a bit of contact with the glue as well. When I say about glue, I mean there's this annoying thing on this game where cars just be locked together. They're not pushing against each other. It's just the game mechanics just get mucked up a little bit. And look, this is Stevie Mac. Surely can get back ahead of Harrison, and Riss is trying to follow. Can Riss make it stick around the inside of turn 1 this time? Surely, no. But Mac is going to be relieved because Mac is through. Meanwhile, the leaders, Milanis is still holding back Prens by 1/10 of a second. They're nose to tail. And might have to go in this battle, but the midfield is just insane. Train back from 6th to 13th is really intense at the moment, but we need to go in this battle here, as it is Milanis ahead of Prens. Prens obviously has the overtake, but Milanis got a lot of boost saved up. Nick Fury, meanwhile, still in third. You've got the Haas of Unsainted, who's just quietly moving into this group at the front. As we've got the overtake of the Alpine, but look at the boost from the Ferrari's got a bit more in hand. So the Alpine Apprentice is going to have to think of a better strategy here, but not much you can do when there's only one, maybe two straights here you can overtake. It's just biding his time. Still on lap 8. We're still relatively early in this race. Doesn't want to go for a rash move just yet, but maybe, I think at this stage, I think the Alpine Apprentice has a bit more pace behind him. We can just find a way through. Would be good. So Nick Fury's in third and Unsainted in fourth place. And a bit of a gap to Killer Titan, who's a bit of a by themselves at the moment, but running their own race in fifth place. Stevie Mac finally getting their way by the Haas, as is Engaging Wrist. Mac has got through as well in the meantime, as is Schumacher. So Harrison has dropped down to 10th, and it might be more as Ocean Crew. This is the problem. Harrison's got more pace, but the front wing damage, he's just basically trying to hang out. But he's just dropping like a stone because he just doesn't have the grip here. As Ocean Crew finally moves far into 10th place, and Harrison, I think, just needs to pit, get this damage out of the way. He's just dropping backwards. Just want to keeps it going as Engaging Wrist has got the overtake and the slipstream on Stevie Mac. It's not going to be close enough because Mac had a lot of battery. It's all about battery management. If you have enough to fend off an attack as Schumacher and Schumacher got a pick of traction at the end of turn 1 but couldn't complete the move. So lap 9, we look at the position gained. So Engaging Wrists up 7, Mac and Schumacher up 8, Ocean Crew up 5 and Stevie Mac up 5. That's your biggest gainers. And that's what I always like to see, any position gains as they go through the chaos that was the opening few laps. That was insane. I'm out of breath basically. My drink is just about keeping my voice intact. And for those of you interested, just a cup of tea, because apparently that keeps your voice and keeps you hydrated, especially in this very warm, muggy weather. But the action has been very hot actually, as again Milanis is just saving a lot of battery at the end of the last corner, and Prens cannot really do anything about it. Unsated is into the pits meanwhile. Those mediums have cried enough for the Haas driver, and this could be actually pretty good for him as they go on to a set of hard tyres, hopefully some clean air, and in fact loads of clean air. This could work out really well if the undercut is relatively stronger. I believe it is. So Unsated could see themselves right into this lead battle. Friends, meanwhile, cannot. This is one thing about overtaking in Formula 1, is easy catching them. It's more difficult to pass. And Milanis is just using just enough to boost away when he needs to. And that's what these F126 cars are now about. It's all about battery management, when to use it, when to not use it. You can see he's got 89, 90% really saving the battery, whereas Prens is just on full out attack. He just wants to get this move done. Neither of them pitting. Fury, meanwhile, again, is just hiding his time on the hard tyres. Remember, he would have the better pace than the mediums, you'd imagine. As, oh no, speaking of which, Fury completely outbrakes himself into turn 1. Manages to recover, but loses about half a second there. You can see Prens is still very keen to make their way by. Seem to have split off a little bit into battles at the moment. You've got the top two. Fury just about keeping up with them two in front. And then you've got Stevie Mac and Engaging Wrist, 4th and 5th. And you've got C-Mac and Schumacher, who's now being joined by Ocean Crew, who's now being joined by Jaron. Instead of a two-way, there's a four-way. With this group here, down to 9th. And Hog Devil Dog, remember, they started at the back of the grid. Made decent progress. Got a chance of points, but probably be pitting anytime soon. Unsated has pitted. So there's your stops. Unsated is the highest of those that have stopped. Plenty of clean air. We'll have to wait and see where they come out. Still the front two don't pit. Riss, meanwhile, has got by Stevie Mac. Stevie Mac, I don't think, had a good final couple of corners, but it's still going to be side by side down into turn one. Who's better on the brakes? The RB is, and makes the move stick. So engaging Riss of the RB is up into P4. Ocean Crew up into 7th, so Unsated is ahead of Killer Titan as well. Gerard is pitted. So again, the front two still engaged in this battle. Just under halfway in this race. The action has been relentless. It's fantastic to see. If this is a sign of things to come for the season, then this is a great, great start. As a spectator, anyway. I'd want to be a part of this myself as well. Driving potentially in the future, but for now, I'm just a spectator comms person. Meanwhile, the flag further back, I think one of the Audis had a bit of a spin, as Milanis has almost fainted. I don't know whether he fainted or fainted going into the pits for Prens, but in any case, Prens goes into the pits now. For hard tyres, I would assume. Indeed they do. So where is Unsainted? Unsainted is going to undercut, I think, the Alpine. Let's have a look. The Titan says the fastest lap, and yet Unsainted has undercut the Alpine of Prens by quite a bit. Maybe not as much as I thought, but he's definitely undercut Prens. So Milanis has got a pit. Milanis has got a pit. Unsainted has got a huge chance of taking the lead when the Ferrari pits. So we'll keep an eye on that when the Ferrari driver does hit. So 3 laps Unsated has been on those hard tyres. So he's still going to be under pressure from Prens, who's immediately getting the pressure on the Haas driver. Would not be very happy being undercut just like this. Milanis is going to pit. Prens decides to do a lift and coast. Milanis does not pit. Does not pit. It's interesting because Nick Fury on the hards does. Oh, Nick Fury, no! 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane as Prens got caught out from the, I guess, the lifting and coasting that Unsainted did. And said Prens is going to go for the lunge. He does. Going to get it stopped in time. And not quite. They're going to be side by side out through turn 2. But Prens just about manages to finish the move done. To finish the move off. So Nick Fury's pitted onto mediums. 10-second time penalty though for speeding in the pit lane. That's going to hurt his race completely, and that was a real shame. Because they were doing really well keeping up with the front two. In fact, if you look at the penalties, yes, we've got one for Nick Fury, Gerard, and Meads. It's a real shame of that. Battle going on here for 3rd place currently between Ocean Crew and Schumacher's. Milan is still not pitting. Really extending the life of these medium tyres. Going for a 1-stop potentially. It's bold, but it seems to be working at the moment. There goes engaging this. So this is the thing. Milanis is on mediums and those on hards are pitting. Must be very good on these tyres anyway. So Prens is now the highest of those that are stopped. Wrist goes in. Going on to medium tyres for them. They're going to come out. Fair bit of traffic. Is that going to be with Jaron? Yeah, they're going to be quite close to one another. And Jaron. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Good. All right then. So those that have stopped. So it's the front 3 yet to pit. It's our leader Milanis, who's still on those medium tyres. Still going quite long. Very, very long actually. On these tyres. And then we've got Ocean and Schumacher, but they've been on the hards. So kind of makes sense why they stayed out, as Dave in the Audi sets the fastest lap. He is right at the back of the field, just hoping for a safety car, to be honest. Sets the fastest lap anyway. Milanis still stays out. That is definitely a one-stop. Wow. As Gerard gets a 3-second time penalty for his troubles. As Ocean Crew goes in, Schumacher stays out. Thankfully, I'll say thankfully, in terms of entertainment, maybe not, but thankfully for my voice, as it's a weird... That is a weird little graphic there. Oh! As Stevie Mac tries to go the inside of Miles. You can see there's no front nose cone from what I can see on Miles's car. That is a really weird visual. I thought there was something wrong, but that is really, really odd. I've never seen that before. You can see like that the front wing is still attached, but there's no like nose bit. That's really odd. Can we see it on bottom? Yeah, I thought it was like a different design or something, but you can see there. Oh. Fair enough. Steve is not going to worry about that. Using the medium tyres and a bit of a boost to get alongside Miles. Bit of tyre rubbing. Miles, big lock up for the Red Bull in front. Oh, just about squeezes through. Stevie Mac with another overtake. Did that great overtake at turn 4. Round the outside of the Red Bull, but then another great gutsy move there to go ahead of the Mercedes and Miles. But Miles is going to fight back with the overtake. Doesn't have enough overspeed really, so he's going to have to back out of it. Meanwhile, Milanis does pit, and Milanis, because he stayed out so long on the tyres, has come out in a net 3rd place. So Prenz has actually taken the lead. However, Milanis could be on for a one-stop if they can make their tyres last. Several laps fresher than everybody else around him. That's definitely something we're going to have to look out for. But we'll see. So what can Milanis do? Now, I would say traffic, but now he's going to have to overtake. Have to see what they're made of. It's all good leading. What you like when you're battling. That's going to be the key here. What on earth is going on here? This is Stevie Mac and Gerard, and then engaging rest of Miles. Big lock up from the Red Bull. The Red Bull's having some trouble getting some slowed down in time. As Prenz is actually taking the outright lead. The Schumacher is still out on those hard tyres, and Gerard is really struggling on those hards. This is an engaging risk, trying to go on the outside. You've got Miles to get involved as well. Rideable with Jaron. So we're going to have a look at it, and they've got the Red Bull going right from the inside. Had to go back across to try and block Miles. Jaron goes flying in. And somehow the Red Bull of Gerard is still out in front. As Jaron starts to steal. With a lot of moves which I would not personally do at the moment. As Miles used to boost around the outside. No, wait, don't try to go around the outside here through turn 7. Nearly tries to make that work. That was bold. With no nose cone on the front of your car as well. So Gerard now, similar to what Harrison was doing earlier on, is holding all 3 of these back and engaging. Chris is getting really frustrated by the looks of it. Today, look at the boost. The overtake boost that the Red Bull has. Again, massive lockup. See the smoke. Insane. Oh, I was going to say a better exit from Riss, but no, not really. Got rumbled onto the curves a little bit. As Miles at the speed of the Mercedes, around the inside. Riss is trying to use his medium tyres, but he's getting just stuck up in traffic. Now Jaron, this battle is really piquing my interest at the moment as Jaron just about holds off the Mercedes. They go through turn 5, 6, and then 7. Miles side by side through turn 7. Bit of car rubbing between them. My voice ain't going to last at the end. We're on lap 19. We're just about halfway through this fantastic opening round of the TTRL Tier 4 season. Of course, make sure you follow TTRL on any social media. See YouTube, obviously. As you can see, past races as Jaron cuts across the chicane, gets a time penalty for his troubles as well. Trying to make his way through. Now, wrist on the back of Miles as so Friends is leading from Schumacher. Schumacher's, I think, is on a one-stop as well. Just doing the opposite of Milanist. That actually might work out for him. So here's your leader, Friends in the Alpine. Was obviously fighting with Milanist earlier on. Managed to get the undercut on the Ferrari. In fact, the Ferrari seems to be going on an interesting strategy. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out. Schumacher, though, from pretty much the back of the grid, up 15 places, 17th pretty much, is also on an interesting strategy to see whether that would work. Definitely trying a one-stop. I think it's been on those hards 19 laps. Then you got Nick Fury, obviously started on the hards, now on the medium tires, probably going mediums to the end, but will have to pit again. Those mediums will definitely not last to the end. I know we saw Milanist earlier going very long. And then you got Unsainted. It's up there. Thought he did a very good undercut. It seems to be dropping back a little bit in the middle part of the race. But meanwhile, trying to go running outside of Fury to turn one. But that's going to work. Fury holds on. And they got Killer Titan, who's been running their very good, sensible race in P5. And then the teammate, Milanist, remember, had that pole position. Was commanding, controlling that race. Or this race. Now, I definitely would say attempting a one-stop. Possible, but those hard tyres are going to be very, very worn at the end. And we'll have to wait and see whether that works out, because obviously those behind are going to be a faster tyres. They're going to be catching them all the way to the end. Let's see how that plays out. Stevie Mack is 7th. Engaging Rias and Miles. Still in a titanic battle over 8th and 9th. The top 10 is rounded off with Gerard and the Red Bull, with Jaron right behind them. Ocean Crew is trying to get back into this race on a stint on soft tyres in 12th. Old Devil Dog is in 13th with C-Mac 14th, Spartan 15th. Harrison, who was just trying to hold off that train of cars earlier on in the first stint, is in 16th. Dave hasn't really recovered so much since the opening crash on the opening lap, but still could maybe get points. And of course, there's always that safety car chance. And then you've got Meads, who also had an off just about going on. But we still have all 18 runners in this race. It's great to see on lap 22 or 36. Opening round of the TTRL season has really kicked off with a bang so much, or so far. So I wonder what Killer Titan's going to do once Milanist comes up to the back of them. You can maybe see on the back of, you can just see his teammate. I wonder what's going to happen when Milanist comes up behind. I'm not going to suggest team orders, it's far too early in the season for that, but who knows? We might have had that conversation. You'd imagine it might happen, but we'll have to wait and see. It's very intriguing how these strategies are going to work out, because Milanist is definitely on a one-stop. Schumacher is trying the same thing as well, but let's see what can happen with it. As Unsainted has got a really good overtake chance on a gravel outside the track, should we just say. But somehow Nick Fury hangs on to it. It's definitely very difficult to overtake on that first corner. Makes me think, because we haven't had lack of overtakes in this race. There's just been plenty of them. It's just very difficult to do. You've got to trust your driver. I mean, next time out in Abu Dhabi, you're going to see a lot of overtakes, I reckon. This big wide track, that one, big flowing as well. Definitely going to be interesting next week. But we carry on with this one. 13 laps to go. No chance of rain, I don't think. There was a lot of cloud coverage at the start of this race, but not so much now. Right, let's see if there's any other battles going on. So trying to give coverage to everyone as much as I can. Of course, I will get better over time as well, but obviously I've got to keep on the lead battles most of it. Let's have the lovely helicopter shot of the banking. Milanis is now caught up to this group. And in fact, Titan and Unsainted and Fury and Schumacher all pit at the same time. Helps Milanis get on with their race. Set hard ties for them. Titan. Fury has to hold for the penalty, and that's really hurt his race. Oh, goodness me. Feels like an age. Yeah, hard tires as well. He's going to be fuming with that. But look at Schumacher. 4th place for him. If he can make those medium tires last, I think he actually could. That's a fantastic race he's had so far. As, because he's up 13 places. Fantastic recovery. As Gerard has sped into the pit lane, I think Gerard might be... I think he's added off as well. As Meads is retired. Both Red Bulls in the wars at the back of the grid there. I think one of them had it off at the final quarter, and then one was just sped into the pit lane. One's retired. I think Gerard is still motoring. There's now a lap down on the race leader, Prens. Az gets another one for crossing the pit lanes. 23 seconds, my goodness. But they're sticking around anyway, so there we go. Right, so where are we? So Killer Titan on the back of Unsated. Yeah, Unsated kind of dropping a little bit on the pace in this middle part of the race. Was keeping up with the leaders. Yeah, Schumacher's definitely done very well at this. So now the last jigsaw in this puzzle in terms of the leaders is 10 seconds between Friends as Miles has gone around the outside of turn 4. Meanwhile, I was looking at this battle and I missed it. Sorry, Miles. Missed a fantastic overtake by the looks of it on Stevie Mac. That is for 7th place. Miles on the medium tires to the end. Stevie Mac on the hards. Good pass from Miles. Miles has had a solid race, I think, as Stevie Mac goes a little bit wide. Takes up the markables here. Miles is up 6 places. So a solid race for them. Right, so let's see what's going on. So in terms of stops. So, yes, looking like this, so Schumacher's definitely going to the end. As I think Gerard might be calling it a day in the pit lane. Sped again. 33 seconds now. As Engaging Risk now pits onto medium tyres. They're going to come out just in the points. Just about, I think. Right, so let's run this through with 10 laps to go. So it's Prens in the lead. Pretty sure Prens has to pit again. I'm almost certain that his set of hard tyres won't go to the end. Milanist probably will. So Prens will probably go on mediums and try and rush back up to Milanist towards the end of the race. Schumacher, I think, is just hanging on to 3rd place, although he's done really well on the hard tyres to make him last to get to this stint. And then you got a battle between Killer Titan and Unsainted. And in fact, Killer Titan using the boost. Sliding the backs out of it. Oh, it's the back of the house as they go through the chicane. But they're 4th and 5th. Miles is up into 6th place. Is looking to try and catch the 2 ahead of them. Stevie Mac in 7th with Nick Fury in 8th. And then there's the 2 RBs of Jaron and Engaging Risk rounding up the top 10 and the points. Just outside the points of C-Mac and Ocean Crew. And then Black Spartan in the other Cadillac. Harrison, Hog Devil Dog Dave, and Gerard is still motoring along on 23 seconds of penalties, but at the very least is still in the lobby, which is, got to give them credit for just hanging around at the moment. Half a second between these two. Oof, it's sweaty as well. It's been a ferocious, really entertaining start. Bit rough, maybe I would say. A couple of overtakes that maybe might not have been on, but in terms of an opening round of a season, it's probably been the most competitive and most cleanest I've seen in terms of the commentary anyway. Certainly ones I've been involved in as well in the past. But that's because, you know, drivers are getting used to each other. Who gives you room, who doesn't, or who's more stubborn than each other. You just get familiar with your surroundings. Let's get some good points to start off with. As, again, Killer Titan's not going to get enough of a run on Unsainted. This battle might rage on until the end. This is for 4th place in the Haas and the Ferrari. The back there is Titan trying to get a good run out of turn 4. In doing so, has lost a few car lengths. So that gives Unsainted just a little bit of breathing space. But look at that Ferrari right back on him again. Just one lap 28. Can Prens potentially stay out on his hards? Maybe I could be wrong on the stint. The longer he stays out, the more likely he could. Stays out again. There's Prens. I mean, he's got a 10-second lead. It's not improbable. This is where my knowledge of tyres is kind of there, but it's not 100% there. I just need to work on my research as we go through the season. As Killer Titan again gets a great run out of the banking, but again, Unsainted has just saved a little bit of boost battery just to stay ahead. That's kind of what it's all about now. If you save enough battery and manage to keep up the pace through the corners, once it goes down to the main straight, you've got enough, you manage to stay ahead. This is where sometimes putting off unorthodox moves with boost sometimes works if you can then push away. That's what the Ferrari of Titan is trying to do. As further back, we've got Jared, who's now caught up to the back of Nick Fury. And when Nick Fury was with the leaders in the early part of the race. But couldn't make a mistake, and obviously had that mistake as well. And obviously had that 10-second time, but he was speeding into pit lane. Is now battling for the low end of the points. They would be slightly annoyed by that, but at least they're going to get some points by the looks of it. They keep out of trouble here. Thinking of what might have been, but not focusing on that at the moment. Focusing on the back of Stevie Mac in the McLaren. He's trying to hold him back. Comes Nick in the Alpine. Not having a lot of battery left. Is it going to be enough? Going to edge along the side. Does a late braking move. Oh, that was a bit. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Mac would be a little bit frustrated with that, but it was rough, but just about fair from Nick into turn 1. But look at that, he's got no battery left at all, and Mac is. Oh. So what happens when you burn your battery through one straight? The next straight, you could just be passed right back. Meanwhile, Prens in the Alpine, I think, is staying out. I definitely think he's staying out because we're now lap 31. Can they make that work? Looks like it. Because Mac has saved a lot of battery here. I think Fury might have enough to hold back. The two RBs are just stalking at the moment. Can Jared make a move on Stevie? No. So we'll go flying into turn 1. So this battle is going to go on to the end by the looks of it. So let's have a look at Prens. Can he make those tyres last? This is, I think, the question. Oof. They don't look very good at all, and Milanis is absolutely eating into his lead. It was about 11 seconds, is now 9.5. Can Prens hold on? I think it's a case of, can he hold on to these tyres? I mean, he's not pitting. He's definitely not pitting. And by the end of this stint, he would have done 23 laps on those hard tyres. See what happens. Need to keep an eye on that gap. 9.5 seconds. There's a yellow flag. It's Gerard, I think. Gerard, I think, has had another spin. Good thing Ghosting is on. Andy's retired. Andy's retired on track. I don't know whether that's a specific rule. I haven't read the rule book. I do apologize. But normally I definitely would say don't do that. But not a good day at the office for the Red Bull. No points, double retirement for them. Thankfully, it didn't cause anything as Nick Fury managed to get by Stevie Mac. This battle still rages on. This is almost 7th place. And look, you can see Mac is all over the back of Nick. So it's Nick, Stevie Mac, Jaron, and engaging wrist. All in this, and wrist looking for a move on the inside there. That was never going to work, I don't think. Friends gap at the front, 8.6. Milanis is catching Nick a second a lap. Well, look at this. Look at all the lifting and coasting that Mac is trying to do. It's up to 100% battery. Going for the attack, and he almost got caught out by Jaron. See what happens going into turn 1. I know we've got Unsainted and Titan on a battle, but this is a 4-way battle for 7th place. And look at the RB of Jaron. Jaron's got a great move. Okay, run down into turn 1, but it's not going to make a stick. Is he going to make a stick? That's a big lunge from Jaron. Oh, Matt just gives him room. Yellow flag. One of the Cadillacs has had a spin on the final corner. Fortunately, no safety car. The safety car would ruin this battle, of course, but make it very entertaining for the last few laps, especially those on worn tyres. And look, Aaron is trying to make his way by the McLaren. Gives Nick Fury just a little bit of a breather just to keep ahead. Friends' lead is now 8.1. Milanis is catching, but not by a lot. So I think actually Friends might have this. 21 laps on the hard tyres. I mean, Milanis has done 17. They're probably not best either. Incredible stints on the tyres. There's another yellow flag. Spartan's out. Spartan's out of turn 4. Black Spartan into the banking at turn 4. I think it might be too late for a safety car, so thankfully for these drivers, no harm done, but Spartan with no points. And yeah, because Stevie Mac is focused on Jaron, Fury, or Nick Fury, can get away a little bit with 2 laps to go. How is Prens hanging on to this? I'll have a look at the lap times as they cross, but he is. Look at that front left tyre. That looks absolutely ridiculous. Can they hang on, though? It's going to be the question. They're definitely not pitting, because why would you pit now? Down to 6 seconds, has done a 15.9. You can see the marbles in the front left. 15.9 compared to Milanis, has done a 14.6. He's catching, but it's not enough. So really, the only question is, can these tyres last for a lap and a half? You can see all the marbling on the front left. In fact, you can see all the way around the tyres. I think if that's what it comes down to, either Prens is going to win or they're going to puncture. It's got a lap and a half to go. Go back to this battle for 4th place as well between Sainted, Titan, and Miles is just about there, but it's not going to catch him in time. Meanwhile, you've still got these 4 battling over 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. There's the back end of points. Bottom end of the top 10. And Prenz has just over a lap. Just over a lap to go. Can these tyres hold on? I'd love to know what percentage wear they would have at the end of this. I mean, all credit to put it off as he heads into the final lap now. It's done on a 16.3. Milanis is 5 seconds behind, having just done a 14.7. It's not going to be enough. Milanis is catching. You can see the Ferrari there. But it all depends on these tyres. As the four-way battle still goes on, Nick Fury engaging with it still goes side by side. Want to go 3 wide out of the banking almost. The two RBs, they're fed up with following the Alpine. It's like, as Jaron engaging with it want to have to go through. Miles has actually caught Unsainted and Titan so much on this last lap. There's battles all over the place, but we need to go to Prenz, who is 4 corners away from picking up the first race win of the season. Somehow these tyres have lasted. No idea. Absolutely no idea. Either it's luck or he's very good on the tyres. Either way, Milanis got the pole, but it is Prenz who comes out the final turn to win the opening round of the TTRL Tier 4. Great race win for them. Milanis is going to come home in second, having great pace, but just got slightly outdone by the strategy. Schumacher with a titanic race from 17th to the podium. Also very good on his tyres, up into P3. Killer Titan in 4th, with Unsainted 5th, Miles 6th. Stevie Mack has got a hold on in 7th. And then finally, here comes the RB. RB actually got him on the line. Risk got him on the line, but the penalty, I think, dropped him back. So it's Stevie Mack in 7th, Fury in 8th, Risk in 9th, and Jaron in 10th place. Just outside the points is Ocean Crew in 11th, Harrison in 12th, C-Mac in 13th, Hog Devil Dog in the McLaren is going to come home 14th, and then Dave. We don't know the pace. Didn't know the pace of Dave at the moment for this time being, but he will be back in round 2. Hopefully, we'll see proper potential. But couldn't recover from the first lap accident, but comes home in 15th place, and that is your race. Wow, I'm sweating, and it's not because of the humidity. That was really, really good from everybody here. I haven't done this for a while, commentary wise, and it has definitely been worth it. Fantastic. There are your results, your provisional results, of course, any post-race penalties, but it is Prenz who somehow those hard tyres lasted, who takes the win from 5th on the grid. Milanis got the pole but couldn't get the win, but ends up in 2nd. Schumacher 3rd from 17th on the grid. Probably my driver of the day, I would say, personally. Killer Titan in 4th. And the Ferrari, nice solid race from him. Unsainted just holds off ahead against Unsainted in 5th place. Miles had very much an up and down sort of race in the midfield. Managed to really have some pace at the end, up into 6th place. Maybe another lap would have been on the house of the Ferrari. Stevie Mack in 7th with Nick Fury in 8th, and then the 2 RBs right behind him. Great battle towards the end. Ocean Crew, Harrison, C-Mac, Hot Devil Dog, Dave, and was your last finisher. Spartan crashed 4 laps on the end, and then the 2 Red Bulls did not finish. Well, what a fantastic, great way to end that. That was really, really good. So hopefully everyone enjoyed that. I certainly did. And yeah. Obviously, we'll try and add a few things post race. I normally personally do interviews on the top 3. but we'll see if we can sort that out from next race going forward. So, for everyone watching, thank you very much for watching. That has been TTRL Tier 4. I've been RTS Michaels, your commentary person for this season. I'll be here for hopefully the rest of the season. Next week is Abu Dhabi. That is going to be the track for next season. Can Milanis get double back-to-back pole positions? Or can it be taken by somebody else? We will see with that. But thank you, everybody, for watching. We will see you next time.